Hello guys, my name is Rutvik and in this video we are going to talk about distributions. So basically when we are working with data science we have some other distribution except normal distribution because it doesn't necessary to every data follow the normal distribution because sometimes we have some data set that either follow the uniform distribution, Poisson distribution and log normal distribution. There are some possibilities, right? So we need to learn about these distributions before, and after that I'm going to show you how you can convert all this distribution into normal distribution, right? Okay, so in the first distribution we are going to take in this video is uniform distribution. So basically in the uniform distribution all the data point which is follow the uniform distribution have same probability to become an outcome, some same probability to become outcome. So suppose you have a rolling dice. In the rolling dice we have numbers 1 to 6 like this, and the probability of any number become an output is 1 by 6, right? So as you can see here, the 1 have the same probability as 1 by 6, whereas the 2 have the same probability, 3 have the same, fourth have the same, and fifth, and here is the sixth. So all numbers have same probabilities, and this type of distribution we can say that it follow the uniform distribution, right? So basically uniform distribution have discrete random discrete random variables, right? So whatever data we have, if the data points, the probability of data points have have the same probability to become an output, at that time we can say that that particular data follow the uniform distribution. So this is all about the uniform distribution. Now we are going to take another distribution which would be the Poisson distribution. So here I'm going to write Poisson distribution. So when we are working with Poisson distribution, the graph follow like this. So yeah, just if you have seen my normal distribution video, at that time you can see that this graph is gonna look like right skew distribution, right skewed distribution. But there are some another difference between a right skew distribution and a Poisson distribution, and what that would be. So as you can see, the graph gonna like this, and in the Poisson distribution first 80% of data 80% data fall in 20% of this graph. So here is the 20% of this graph. 80% data fall in this region, 80% data fall in this region, which is the 20% of this graph, 20%, which is the 20% of this graph, where the remaining 20%, here we have a remaining 20% data. This is the remaining 20% data that falls in 80% of the graph, right? So this is the main thing about the Poisson distribution, and you can easily identify by visualizing the graph that a particular data follow the Gaussian distribution, particular data follow the Poisson distribution or not. So this is all about the Poisson distribution. Now we are going to take another example, which is a log normal distribution. So we are going to take another distribution. It would be log normal distribution. So in the log normal distribution, that definitely follow the right skew distribution, right? So the in the log normal distribution, the right side of the tail is quite longer, right? Tail is longer, right? So we need in so that's all about the log normal distribution, and we can easily convert log normal distribution to normal distribution. I'm going to show you a technique where you can easily convert a log normal distribution to normal distribution. So imported pandas library, matplotlib library, and scipy library. Scipy is mainly used to perform some statistical operations, and also I have read CSV file which is iris, and here I'll show you first line with the help of head function, right? So here I'm going to, before we move further, let me talk about some of the basic steps that you need to perform before you are going to plot QQ plot. With the help of QQ plot, you can easily identify that our data follow the which distribution. If let me introduce, right, let me tell you about this while coding. So the first step is we are going to retrieve that column that we are going to plot. So here I'm going to plot a QQ plot using a sepal length centimeter. Right here I'm going to retrieve all the values of sepal length centimeter, but I need to sort that value first. So I'm going to use sort values function, and as you can see here, my value is sorted. Now I'm going to get the values from it and get the values from it. So just hold on. Here I got all the values, and I will convert this array into the list. Okay, just hold on for a second. Yeah, here I'm going to convert into the list, and I've stored these values. I've stored this list into sorted underscore values, right? So now I'm going to calculate the mean of sepal length centimeter. To calculate the mean, I have function describe which give me all the values, which give me all the statistics related to this particular column. Here I can see that we have a mean, we have a standard deviation, but to calculate the standard normal variate, we are going to work with mean and standard deviation only, right? So okay, so here I'm going to access the mean with the help of this, and I will store that value in a mean variable. And again I'm going to write the same thing for the standard deviation, df dot sepal length centimeter dot describe, and here I'm going to access standard deviation again. So again, if you haven't watched my panda series video, and do not about the how you can manipulate the data with the help of such queries, and you can watch my video which is related on the pandas from I button. So now I'm going to calculate the z value here. So I need to get all the sorted values first. Sorted values minus mean, and divide the whole values by standard deviation. Whatever value I've got, I'm going to print it. I will store that value in a z. So here, as you can see here, we have a z values like this. Now I'm going to use a probability plot using here. So in the first parameter, I need to pass the value. On which I'm going to identify that our values belong to the values follow the Gaussian distribution or not. Now as a second argument, I need to pass the name of the distribution that I want to check, right? So in this in this video I'm going to check that our particular z value follow the Gaussian distribution or not. So that's why I've written z as a first argument, and the second argument I've written norm, because I want to check a normal distribution, right? A particular z value, particular z data is follow the normal distribution or not. I want to check that. So that's why I've written this is equal to norm. And another thing that I'm going to return that which library I'm going to use for plotting. So I'm going to use PLT because I'm going to use a matplotlib, and here as you can see that I've used matplotlib with the help of such alias called PLT, right? That's why. Okay, now I'm going to PLT, use the PLT.show. As you can see here, we have a probability plot, which is also you can consider as a QQ plot. So in the x value, you have your z values and the ordered value, which is created by this function, this created by this probability plot, which in a manner of normal distribution. So as you can see here, you have a blue data points, which is covered by, which is overlapping the red line. That means that that distribution follow this distribution, that particular data we have is follow the Gaussian distribution. If suppose we have a data points like this, so as you can see, so we have a data points like this, that means we can say that every data point has the same probability. That means that this data points follow the uniform distribution, right? If our data is perfectly overlap on the line, then we can say that if our data is perfectly overlapping the red line, right, the red straight line, then we can say that our data is follow the normal distribution or Gaussian distribution. The name are the same. Okay, so this is all about how you can plot QQ plot, and what are the distribution that we are going to working in the future. So thank you for watching.